Be strong.
Welcome in, roster the people. Week 10. Somehow it's already week 10. I don't know how, but there it is. Jason, how you doing?
And I.
What?
Shocking even I.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazed. Can't believe it.
Still here, still selling fake doors. All right. Well, we only have one Thursday night question so far, so here it is from Anthony. Ferguson or Komet?
It's Komet because it's PPR.
Nah.
And Bacon kind of likes him.
I'm going to play Ferguson against the Giants. That's what I'm going to do.
I get it.
Ferguson 2 spots higher. Largely due to the fact that he's playing on Sunday and he's playing the Giants and his usage has gone up for the last 3 weeks. And the Cowboys, despite the fact that they're not exactly winning games, they are moving the ball a little bit better. So that's been helping.
Better. I don't know on that.
I mean, do you want me to go list it off? Because it's kind of indisputable. Like, I already gave the one qualifier of they're not winning games, but they are indisputably moving the ball a little bit better. That's what's happening. Are you excited for this so-called football game tonight? The game that will determine whether the Bears have the 1 pick and the 2 pick, or the 2 pick and the 1 pick?
Yeah, I mean, I like it just because of the fact that one bet I do have, I do think that Bryce Young throws more than 1 touchdown for the first time ever. So that happens. We will all be in amazement for his pro career. Got to enjoy that.
I have to play him in a dynasty league this week. I guess I could play DeVito if I really wanted to, but I don't. Well, I have to start him in a dynasty league this week, so I'm like, well, it's a good matchup at least.
I guess
I've got Hurts on a bye, so there's no other choice here. This is just what's happening. This is what we're doing.
Oh, rookie.
There's no point worrying about it. The die has been cast. This is what you're doing. I'm not playing DeVito against the Dallas. I have Daniel Jones as my technical backup, but he's on IR. So I'm like, well, this dynasty, you can get a lot of choices. Leagues like that, it's 12-team league, 24-man benches. All the quarterbacks are gone, man. Like, there's nothing there. Like, you can't go to the waiver wire and help yourself. You just deal.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a league together, and I'm struggling in that. I'm literally starting O'Connell, so it's just like, well, this is what it's come to.
Yeah, this is where we are. This is life. I was talking about this on Tuesday. You got 4 teams on a bye, and it's the Eagles, Chiefs, and Dolphins. There are 3 of them. All right, well, it's time to get creative because you got a lot of starters in the NFL and fantasy. They're not playing this week. So, and then on top of that, you have a whole new fresh crop of injuries that you have to navigate. So it's like this is a week where you're probably going to have to make some decisions that you don't like. It's just the way that this goes. Like,
well, and Young's actually a really good plug-in option. I mean, I have him at, let's see, quarterback.
I have him somewhere not great, but it's I'm 23.
I have him at 16.
But it's a hell of a matchup.
Yeah. So if he can get it done, we're going to be sitting pretty.
Yeah, if I win that game with the amount of players I have on bye, I'm going to be just dying
happy
laughing.
with it. Just
dying laughing because there's no reason for me I should not win this game. It's one of my matchups where I'm like, I'm 8-1 in that league too, and I'm like, sometimes that's why it's hard to go undefeated, man. You need a lot of stuff to go right in a hurry. Because I have Hurts and Swift on a bye, and it's just like, well, we're gonna. And then I've got Higgins, and it's like now they're saying Higgins is gonna play, and I'm like, well, I got Downs in that league. Downs might not be playing. Like, what do you do? Like, you're just gonna start scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah,
Polo, what up, buddy? How's it going?
Thank you for coming, Polo, as always.
Folks, get your Thursday questions in here. You got 10 minutes. We only had one Thursday question. I think that says more about the teams that are playing, by the way. But I was expecting to get some level of Chuba Hubbard questions here. I'm a little surprised that we got one Thursday night question and it was about Cole Kmet. I don't fully understand it. Well, I should say that. I do understand it. I'm just a little slightly surprised that we didn't get one Chuba Hubbard question.
Yeah, I mean, Chuba has a good matchup, should be fine.
Matchup. It's not as good of a matchup as it sounds because the Bears secondary is so bad that, well, on paper it's a decent matchup. It's like, yeah, but most teams can pass at will. But this is a weird one because it's hard to go by the way the matchup calculators actually. What the matchup calculators will tell you stuff about this game, but you don't necessarily want to buy into that because most teams can pass at will. Can the Panthers? I don't know. Like, could
Thielen.
they?
I mean, usually Thielen has a pretty good game. Here's the hoping.
But we'll see. All right, here we go. Tony's got a question for us here.
Ooh. RB, Foreman, Connor, Madison, Montgomery. Man, probably gonna go Foreman unless it's a PPR. Then I might go Madison. I'm just staying away from Connor, man. I'm too nervous on it with him just coming back. It's being Murray's first time playing this year.
Well, Connor, I'm not super bothered with. It's the Montgomery one that has me kind of furrowing my brow at you because of those names. Montgomery is the one that jumps off the screen at me. He's the one I have ranked the highest. I have him as
really?
I have him as an RB2 against the Chargers. I mean, I
Chargers
know that
have
there's
a good run defense, surprisingly, so far this year.
That whole narrative about Gibson's going to cut into his workload. I'm like, they've said that every time, and then they just give the ball to Montgomery 25 times. It is PPR.
Yeah, I'm still going with Foreman because I think he has the job at this point. Panthers are a soft matchup. I'd much rather take that and be safe.
Foreman would be my second choice. I'm not gonna fight about that too much. The other two I don't really want to deal with as much. Madison is okay, I guess. He'd be my third choice. I agree with the idea that if I didn't have to play, see my point. This is why I'd have a hard time not playing Montgomery. He's my number one on that list for a reason because they could say all the lovely little words that they want, but as I'll point out every week, don't listen to Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell is not your friend. Like he's not here to help you. In fact, I usually do the opposite of what Dan Campbell says because he usually does the opposite of what he says. So it's like I'm not interested in that. So I hear you. Connor is the one that I agree with you on that. Connor is the one that I'd be like, if I don't have to play him, I'm not going to. So I agree with you as far as that goes. But the order that I would put these in is Montgomery, Foreman, Madison, Connor. That's how I would do it.
Yeah, I get it. It's not so much that Chargers have been good between the tackles, actually stopping the run. It's more the passing game where they get tore up, especially when it goes to passing running backs. And Montgomery's going to be that passing down back, which he has been. I mean, don't get me wrong. I just think that Gibbs is more likely to have a bigger game in comparison, just because he is more explosive. Clearly, he has the ball in his hands in a passing role. So
yeah,
that's why I'm.
That's the way it shuts itself down. Okay. Let's see real quick. Whoever I don't play may need to go at flex, or Kmet would be my flex. Okay, I would play Foreman over Kmet. I'd play in that instance. I'd play Montgomery and Foreman.
But Foreman wouldn't be in your flex. He should be in the running back position.
Well, yeah, but that's a different thing. That's roster construction. Like that's not. It's not changing who's in the lineup at this point. Most of my guys are on bye this week. Yeah, tell me about it. That's what we just got done talking about. Okay, well, let us know what you decide, Tony. But I would absolutely play the two running backs over Kmet, and I don't think Jason and I would see that differently at all. So we would probably both agree play the running backs. Thank you, Polo, for hearing me and humoring me. Is Hubbard a start? It depends on what your other options are. I have Hubbard as a back end RB2. He's literally my RB24. So he's not what I would call a must start, but with this many people on bye, I would consider him a start. You more than likely don't have better options this week. This is a week where you're going to have to make some nasty decisions in the background. So I would probably play Hubbard. I would play Hubbard over players like Brian Robinson, Devin Singletary, Kareem Hunt, Tyler Algier. Like it gets ugly in a hurry. So I would consider him to be a start. What about you, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting him, but that's not saying a lot. I think that he is being used. They named him the starter. I don't know what that actually means at this point. I still think Sanders actually looked better last week, so it does look like he's starting to make a comeback a little bit. But
All right, well, let's put a fine point on it then, because we could kill two birds with one stone. Nick O'Brien wants to know Hubbard or James Cook.
Hubbard.
See, it's interesting because I have them right next to each other in my rankings. I have them 23 and 24. And for me, I lean James Cook slightly, even though Hubbard's been slightly better. But you're evaluating guys in timeshares at this point. Still not concerned about Fournette. The reason I'm going to give it to Cook slightly. And here's the reason why. It's because that matchup he has is fantastic. So the matchup is fantastic. That's where it is.
I just don't want to be burned by it again, man.
DJ Moore or Terry, quickly.
McLaurin.
Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Roshan or Ford? Ford. Easy. Easy. Yep. This is an easy one, Juan. I know you're talking about 2 minutes. You don't put Ford in. Go. 2 minutes. Go. Okay. And yes, this is literally the definition of playing with fire. Because it's bad either way. And so I'm going to go with Cook on Monday night, not Thursday, in a better matchup. And all I need him to do is catch a couple dump offs. And when you say get burned, yeah, he's been averaging like 7-8 points in PPR, which I'm assuming is what this is related to. Hubbard's only averaging like 10 or 11. It's not that much demonstrably better. So that's where we are. Okay, that's all the Thursday night questions, folks. If you got one left, get it in. Ford, go. You still have 2 minutes. Go. Let's see. Anthony wants to know, picked up Kyler Murray in the IR, has Lawrence and Dak. Keep 2. So drop one of the 3. Drop Murray, Lawrence, or Dak. That's a legitimate question. That's a good one.
Probably. I think you have to drop Lawrence, I guess. I just don't love it.
Yeah, you're not dropping Dak.
Yeah.
As frustrating as it is, and I acknowledge that it's frustrating. You're not dropping Dak. So it's
more of, do you trust Murray to start running again? Which I'm more nervous about this week. I'll be curious to see if he is mobile this week. That would be the determining factor, really. Because we haven't seen it happen yet. Seen him throw, haven't really seen him scramble or anything. So
this wouldn't factor into my decision, Anthony.
Doesn't matter.
That wouldn't factor in at all. I'm not worried about that. Here's how I'll split it. It depends on what kind of team you have. Are you a playoff team? Or are you trying to get to the playoffs? And here's why I say that. If you go, we're going to go next level here. Please don't sue me. We're going to go next level. If I don't need Kyler for a little while, okay, then this is relevant to what I'm going to say. So I would actually probably drop Lawrence, and here's why. If you're not playing either of them, and you're probably not, Murray has a much better playoff schedule. Much better. His playoff schedule is incredible, whereas Lawrence has a very poor playoff schedule. So Lawrence has one of the worst playoff schedules you can have this year. And Murray is actually, I am pulling it up, so bear with me while I do this, but I'm doing that from memory. Yeah. He has a really good run, and it's because he has the bye in week 14, which is an annoyance, but that's not playoffs. He plays Chicago and Philly. And you might be asking yourself, Neil, Philly can't be a good matchup. Philly is actually a great matchup for opposing quarterbacks. It's actually a really good matchup. Their secondary is depleted, and it's not going to get
their
fixed.
Front seven's good.
Their front seven is good. So they're going to, and the Cardinals are going to be getting their pants pulled down and spanked in that game. So they're going to have to move the ball. They're going to have to throw, and and it would really help if he could run a little bit. So and since you're probably in a position in second place that you can wait this out, Lawrence would be the one that is the odd man out in that case. So so it sounds like we agree, just for different reasons.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, he's been very frustrating as well. So there is a certain catharsis, Anthony, to doing that. I agree with you. I live that life with you, my friend, in a couple leagues. PPR rest of season, Musgrave or McBride?
McBride.
McBride as well. That's not actually that close.
Murray actually does like his tight end, which made Ertz so valuable last year. And towards the end of it, when Ertz got hurt, McBride started to make that come along as well. So the fact that he's going to be the only option to start, I think, really does benefit him quite a bit.
To add to that, Musgrave plays for the Packers. Really, all you need to know. Like, he plays for the Packers. Do not like at all. You're welcome, Anthony. Anytime. All right, I believe that is all the early questions here. The game is just kicked off, so that's good. That's fun. So hopefully that game will be all right. So if you have further questions, obviously post them. We will continue to answer them. I have a thing just for Polo. Polo, I think my mailman is trying to kill me. I need your advice here because I think my mailman is trying to kill me because that son of a you know what keeps leaving things like this in my mail. And these are Culver's coupons.
Oh my gosh.
And I literally think the man is trying to kill me with obesity and heart failure. So I need some advice on how to like get revenge on my mailman because I think he's trying to give me diabetes. I do. I genuinely think he's trying to give me like late stage, like stage 2 like type 2 diabetes. That's my theory. I think he's trying to kill me. So how do I get revenge on my mailman for trying to? And it's like attempted murder, just on a very long timeline. I don't know what to do.
Slow, very agonizing death.
A slow, very agonizing death that also involves poverty because he's trying to drain my bank account. You can't give me Culver's coupons. What are you, out of your mind? Think I'm not going to take Culver's coupons? What am I, made of stone? Like, I'm only human. I'm just a man, okay? Can't do this. It's horrible nightmare that I'm dealing with. So let me know what your revenge ideas are. I'll tell you, that guy's he's not getting a Christmas gift this year. We're not tipping the mailman this year. Nah, I'm gonna start sending in my medical bills is what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna be going in for my physical this time next year in about June. My doctor's gonna be looking at me like, dude, what is your problem? What is your problem? All right, Shane. Well, I digress from my rant. Polo, let me know what you think about how to get pro revenge on someone who's trying to kill you. We'll answer Shane's question in the meantime. Shane is again. I love your profile photo. It's great.
Every time makes me giggle.
one flex: Quentin Johnson, Logan Thomas, Khalil Shakir, Antonio Gibson. Well, it ain't Quentin Johnson.
Whoa! Don't be that. It was a tougher matchup last week. Okay.
Yeah, you can be a Chargers apologist if you want. I know you're obligated to do that.
I'm playing
That's
Shakir
fine.
right now, though. I'm really high on Shakir. They've moved away from the 2 tight end sets into the 3 wide receiver. Shakir is that 3rd wide receiver. Really like his usage. He's more of a short, airy target, which they usually have been using recently. I do like Gibson as well here, actually, but I'm going with the more volume play of Shakir.
Yeah. Shakir's not a bad choice. Shakir would be in my top 100 in my flex rankings. And when you're talking about this, I mean, you literally are. Like, you're at that level. You know what I mean?
Oh, he was my pick from last week. He was one of my, if you're looking for somebody's stream.
Yeah, my question is, I'm double checking something real quick, which is why I want to make sure I give you an appropriate. See, for me, it comes down to Logan Thomas or Khalil Shakir. Very close because Logan Thomas, I had to confirm who they're playing. They are playing Seattle, like I thought. So it's actually very close. I have them within 6 spots, which in flex rankings actually that's a coin flip. So I would eliminate Antonio Gibson, despite the fact that he has seen increased usage recently, which it's that time of year. The Commanders forget this happens every year. The Commanders forget how to run the ball and they start throwing dump offs to Gibson again. It's been happening.
Well, it's also the fact that Samuel's been out.
Yeah, that's also been part of it. And I don't know that he's going to play in this game again.
Yeah.
But I want to avoid Johnson, and I'm probably gonna end up sitting Gibson, and you're gonna make a decision between Logan Thomas and Khalil Shakir. In this instance, I know it's PPR, but in this instance, it does kind of come down to who is more likely to score a touchdown. It's kind of where you're at. And in this case, I would give Thomas the nod slightly. I have him about 6 spots higher in my rankings because I do believe he's slightly more likely to get in the end zone. So I know it's weird to play 2 tight ends, but I probably would play Logan Thomas over Khalil Shakir. It is very close though, because Shakir does see a little bit more volume, but you're talking about like the what, 4th or 5th option on his team ish.
4th. I mean,
4th.
well, no, actually at this point he's 3rd. He's above Davis, but he's behind Kincaid.
Yeah, and that's kind of but Logan Thomas is like when Curtis Samuel plays like 2. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I would probably I'm going to give the nod to Logan Thomas. I appreciate the question though. I like deep dive questions like that. That's a good one. Also, is that buy related, Shane, or is that like you play in some sort of 16 team league? I'm genuinely curious. Like it's either buys and injuries or you play in a 16 team league. And I always love doing the 16 team league super deep, aka the man league questions. Like,
oh man, makes me think of the Man Show. Oh,
well, the man's league was an old 06010 thing from
I
a
know,
million
but
years ago. Yeah.
God, that show was so good back in the day.
Things that will not be airable in 2023. The Man Show. Like, streaming, you might get away with it. Actually, network TV, no. Streaming, HBO Max, yeah, probably get away with that. Daniel has a question. Pick 2: London, Addison, Deontay, Mike Evans.
Definitely Johnson, and then it's close between London and Evans for me. London's coming off an injury, so kind of makes me lean towards Evans, but it's really a toss up between those two.
Yeah, this is a rough one because, but I'm gonna go Deontay and Evans, and it's a tough one because London is back, right? That's nice.
Back.
Addison is right. Addison has been good, even with the rotating weird QB-ness. But Deontay Johnson came right back and
big
touchdown. He looked great even without the touchdown. You take the touchdown out, he still had a really nice game. And Mike Evans has been good, and I'm not expecting them to have another crap game like they had last week. So it'd be Deontay and Evans for me.
The other plus side for Deontay is he's actually seeing higher ADOT, so
yes,
that's helping him considerably.
Yes, it does. It certainly does. But yeah, I have Mike Evans as a top 10 play this week. Again, 4 teams on a bye and a bunch of injuries allows that to happen, but it's true. And then I have Deontay at wide receiver 15. The next closest on your list would be Addison, who's down at 26. So I get the question, but it's not actually that close. Okay, it's a 12 team. So you're stuck in purgatory with a lot of people this week. Trust me, I get it. Dell or Deontay? Deontay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I have Deontay 5 spots higher.
Ooh, you're real high on Deontay.
I have him at 15.
Okay.
They're playing the Packers.
I understand. That's my worry for it, though. Harris might actually be able to just run, and all that they want to do is win, so it doesn't matter.
But yeah, Dell
coaching.
Dell is also a fine choice, but I would roll Deontay back.
I have Dell higher right now.
Boy, where do you have Tank Dell ranked?
You don't want to know.
Yeah, I bet I don't. The audience does though. Okay. There we go. There we go. He goes to the penalty box. I haven't had to send you to the penalty box. I haven't had to send you to the penalty box in a couple of weeks. I had to send you to the penalty box real quick. You had to go to the penalty box real fast.
To be fair, that was before.
What a take.
It was before the fact that I thought this game was going to be a little more competitive. I'm more nervous now that they're not good. They're potentially without Chase or Higgins, or potentially both.
Yeah, sure. I have. I mean, my top 4 here is Diggs, Amon-Ra, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase. Now, that being said, Jamar Chase obviously coming down, right? It's Thursday. But even then, Keenan Allen would move up, and then everybody else would move up a slot. So
I have Amon-Ra, Thielen, Allen, Dell.
Wow. I also have Thielen pretty highly ranked too for tonight. So that'll blow up horribly. I have Thielen as like a top 5 play. That'll blow up in my face.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Yeah, when both of us have him in the top 5, yeah, that's gonna blow up horribly. We've cursed everyone. We've cursed everyone. They're all cursed. Sorry. That's our fault. We did that to you. Direct your hate mail to the comments.
I mean, if he sees like 15 or 20 targets, though, we might be okay.
Just direct your hate mail to @nonsense_Neil on Twitter. Put comments in here. Like, just that's fine. It's my fault. I agree. I acknowledge it. I'll take the
It's a Thursday night game. I don't know how we got sucked into it.
Yeah. Carr or Murray?
Carr. Taking the safety, man.
Safety blanket Carr? Yeah, I would do Carr as well, just because I don't really want to play Murray in his first start.
Also, he's not really a pocket passer, so if he's not able to move a whole lot,
we just don't know. There's just so much we don't know about what this is going to look like that I kind of don't want to play it. Whereas, and I acknowledge he does get the crappy Atlanta defense, but Carr's playing Minnesota in a game that they need to win. Like, the Saints need to win that game. That has real life football implications written all of that. That is a thing that needs to occur. So they're going to be trying a little harder in that game, I think. And Minnesota's defense does not scare me at all. What you worry about with Carr is Taysom Hill throwing touchdowns and scoring and siphoning value off Carr. But that hasn't been so pervasive that it's killed him yet. So,
no, like we say, he's between 14 and 18 points every week. So,
oh, Lord. Okay, so now we're doing flexes. Pick 2. So we've set his wide receivers. Now we're setting flexes. Addison, London, Montgomery, Engram, Hill. Okay, Montgomery is getting flexed. I'm definitely doing that. So for me, it's Montgomery and Addison. That's who I'm playing. Yep.
We're splitting it completely. I'm going London and Hill.
Wow. Okay. So you're just going full dice rolls, just all the dice
full
rolls.
Hill.
So you're just going to. Jason is giving you these
scoring 20 points. Man.
Jason's financial advice is the equivalent of go to the local convenience store and just buy the whole roll of scratch-off tickets, because you can't possibly lose money on that, and you might win a boat. I don't know. Like, that's Jason's actual advice: is go to the Quick Trip. Yeah, go to the Quick Trip and buy the whole roll of scratch-off tickets. Like, don't just buy one; buy them all.
If you're worried about it, I guess you can play Montgomery, but I'm not risking it with Addison. Like, I'd much rather play Hawk. Like, realistically,
Daniel, this has been completely unhelpful.
This
is the least helpful thing we've ever done.
I know.
This is so unhelpful.
I'm fine. I mean,
I agree, Daniel. I agree. I agree with this reaction. This is the appropriate reaction. He's not wrong.
I get it. I mean, I'm fine with, like I said, you want to do London and Montgomery? That's fine.
No, I want to do Addison and Montgomery, because Addison had 10 points even when his quarterback had no freaking reps. So now at least Dobbs had a full week of practice.
I get it, but we saw how inaccurate he was on the deep throws.
I don't care. It didn't make any difference. It made no difference. You want to worry about something as it relates to Addison? Justin Jefferson comes back in like 2 weeks. That's a thing to worry about. That's a worry. You worry about stuff like that. I'm not worried about it as it relates to this week.
But London also plays the Cardinals defense.
I don't understand.
Okay.
I'm not unaware.
And Hill also plays every position.
Taysom Hill is the ultimate boomer bust. It's the ultimate.
The past 3 weeks, he's been rolling in it.
Yeah, and then he'll go out and put up a 2. I'm not sold on this as a long-term solution with Taysom Hill. Like, it's too erratic. Like, it's too erratic. Like, 3 weeks is nice. I agree, but he had a couple good games at the beginning of the year and then went right back in the tank. It's so hard to want to trust playing Taysom Hill. It's because no one knows how to project it, Daniel. It's because it's the most maddening thing in the universe, because you don't know, and no one knows. And anyone claims to know should be wearing that suit with dollar signs on it on the old commercials from, remember that guy, the guy who used to wear the suit with the dollar signs on late night TV at 3 o'clock in the morning, trying to sell you his make money on the stock market thing? That's Taysom Hill. That's the fantasy equivalent of Taysom Hill. if I could put the picture up of the guy, you know what? I will. I'll
think
get
of his
it.
name.
Like,
Because it randomly, I was paying for a house and had a roommate who was shady, would always watch this guy on DirecTV. It was the one thing he'd watch
his name is
all,
Matthew Lesko, for the record, by the
all
way.
hours of the day.
That helps you.
And he would shout uncontrollably about it because why not? Oh, this is not who I'm thinking of.
No, I'm talking about the Matthew Lesko guy.
Okay, that's completely different.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Some Kansas thing.
Nope. I'll find it. Give me a second. Riveting television we're giving right now.
I know. It really is. It genuinely is riveting.
Just killing it.
And it's not television either.
Close enough.
This is who I'm speaking of. This guy. Him. Matthew Lesko. The guy with the question suit and the free money.
You're not showing it.
Yes, I am. I'm sharing my screen.
It's not. I don't see it. There you. Oh.
There.
Oh.
This is the guy. This is the guy I'm talking about. This guy. Matthew Lesko. This is Taysom Hill. Okay? This is Taysom Hill. He wears a suit with question marks and talks about how to get you free money from the government. That's the fantasy football equivalent of Taysom Hill. Is this guy. Like it's literally like how this proceeds. That's who it is. It's the same thing. It's literally what it is.
I'm thinking of Jim Cramer.
Oh, that's a very different human being. That's a very different person.
But also the same idea.
This is Taysom Hill. This is what this is. It's this guy. That's it. That's who you're dealing with. That's what you're recommending. Is the guy who used to show up on late night TV at 3:00 in the morning and yell about how you could get free money from the government. And he's projected for 4 fantasy points, and he might get it 2. Or he might get 20. I don't know. No one knows. That's why it's basically the discount Riddler. It's the Riddler, but not intelligent. So that's where we're at here, folks. It's a whole thing here. So no, Jim Cramer is a very different individual who was on CNBC Money. And that's the guy who my actual advice for Jim Cramer is do whatever the opposite is of what he says to do. That's Jim Cramer. I know, Daniel, I understand. It's let's go back to the original question. You can't derail a show, Daniel, that was never on the rails. It's not possible to derail this show. We do that ourselves. The point is, I'll put it to you this way. If you want to play London versus go nuts, dude. Play London versus Addison, enjoy it. But not super interested in playing any Falcon. Like that's kind of where we're getting to here. Maybe Bijan, and even then, not great.
Really, of all of them, you're trusting Bijan.
I'm not trusting none of them.
I'm okay with Hodge at this point, and I'm okay with London.
All right.
And Hodge is definitely a boomer bust flex.
Yeah, Daniel, we have not helped you at all. I'm sorry, we've not helped in any way. Because I remain entrenched in this position, which is I'm gonna play Montgomery and Addison, and there's no combination of words he could say to me to change my mind on this. That's not happening. If you were projected to lose horribly, sure, play Taysom Hill. What do you have to lose? All right, Anthony. Oh, that's right. We're contractually obligated to answer Anthony's defense questions because of that 1 week. Falcons, Titans, Bengals. Oh my God, this is every defense. Okay. Oh, we'll do this.
Colts.
I'm gonna do this a different way.
It's between. I think it's like between the Colts and the Titans.
Yeah, I got to go pull up my defense rankings.
Woof.
Yeah.
That's the real answer.
So far.
Should have ran with the Raiders like me, man. Got him 3 weeks ago. Just riding that train. About to dump him, though.
Not the bad. No. And last one. Okay, so my answer is Bengals against Houston, which is not ideal in any way, shape, or form, but that's the best defense. Second choice would be the Falcons against Arizona's crappy offense. Even with Kyler Murray, I don't care. That's so. If you're afraid, yeah, I go Bengals here, and if you're afraid because of the Texans just lit up some people, then I go Falcons against Kyler Murray's first start in forever. That's my choice. What was your choice? I missed it entirely. Was it Falcons?
I'm actually going Colts. It's between the Colts and the Titans.
Oh, I completely missed Colts. Hold on. Now I have to do this again. Sorry, everybody else. Sorry, all like other 15 people that are watching this. Completely missed that because it wasn't capitalized. This is my fault. I apologize.
Just thought it was another word,
I apologize. Okay, it would be Colts. Go Colts. We agree. We agree on something. Go Colts.
Woo!
We finally agreed on something 2 hours in. It only took 2 years and 2 hours. Yeah, Colts. Colts is the answer. We lost 4 people, Jason, while that question was being answered. 4 people left, and I don't blame them.
It's a defense question.
It's not Anthony's fault. It's mine. I can't read. It's fine. It is what it is. Montgomery or Walker?
Walker. If healthy. Holy
Walker, if healthy, I agree. Walker, if healthy. Although your downgrade to Montgomery is not a steep one. So
punt return for a touchdown. Golly.
Love it. Fantastic. I'm glad I'm not watching that game. It would make me pull my hair out.
It's the third punt in a row, so.
I never heard back from Polo about how to get revenge on my mailman. I'm still waiting for that. It never showed up. Like, I know he's here. He's ignoring me. He also doesn't want to get implicated. He doesn't want to get implicated in whatever shenanigans I'm cooking up over here. Let's see.
Amir Smith Marset.
Oh, that'll be fun. That'll be fun to figure out later on. All right, Shane. Aaron Jones or David Montgomery? Oh. I'll let Jason go first because this will be fun.
I'm going to go Jones. He looked healthy last week.
It's Jones. He looked healthy. They're going to give him the ball. Their season is on the line at this point. So it's going to be Jones.
Not saying a lot.
I know. How old are you that you know who Ron Popeil is? That's not how you spell Ron Popeil, but I know who you mean. It's the set it and forget it guy. No one under... Bro, I'm 36. Nobody gets that joke. Like, the Floby. I didn't even read the second part of this. The Floby is even older. This is amazing. I'm gonna print this off. Like, I'm gonna frame this and put it on my desk. The set it and forget it guy. I don't know. Oh God, I guess that could be Taysom Hill. It's more like oh man, that's amazing. God, I could still hear that in my head. The with the studio audience where he used to have them yell "set it and forget it." God, I haven't thought about that in 20 years. They haven't. God, they don't do stuff like that. None of that doesn't exist anymore. Like they don't sell stuff like that anymore. Remember?
Drugs are bad. Okay.
Well, you remember how they used to sell that like thing, that rotisserie like thing that you could put a turkey in, and it would like rotate the turkey. The least practical thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I actually knew somebody who had one of those. Didn't work real well. I know. Shocker. Shocking that wasn't a quality. God, that's amazing. I just can't believe anybody even remembers that anymore. Nobody I know would know who that is. Like,
just a total troll job. That's the whole purpose for it.
Take a straw poll on what that is and who remembers what that is. Let's see here. The Showtime Rotisserie Grill. It's what you had one? How did you get one? Tell me that you still have that somewhere in storage. I want photos. I'm sorry for everyone who actually came here for fantasy advice. We're not doing that anymore. Now we're going to discuss the Showtime Rotisserie Grill in detail because, Anthony, you actually had a Showtime rotisserie grill, I have no interest in fantasy football anymore. We're just going to talk about this because I knew people who had one. We never. I need photos. If you can get me photos of this, I'm gonna change all my profile photos to the Showtime rotisserie grill because
You're more likely going to have to send it to me because Neil hardly ever gets on Twitter.
no, that's fine. I'm in on Discord. You're right. I won't get on Twitter. But no, like if that actually still works, I would absolutely love to see photos of that because my God, that's amazing that you actually had a Showtime rotisserie grill. Tell me that was a gift. Tell me that you didn't spend money on that. Like, if you still have that, I'm highly interested in this on whether or not it still works. Jason, I think we might have to get some money together between you and I and actually give it to Anthony so he will go to the store and buy like a turkey
and see it.
because I would absolutely.
It is that time of year. That could be something.
That's what I mean. I would absolutely love this time of year to give Anthony money. I will give Anthony money. You know what? We have petty cash. I'll just give Anthony money out of petty cash if he's willing to do it and to buy a turkey and put that in the Showtime rotisserie grill, and we will live stream it. Like I will get Anthony on. I will get Anthony Wrights on here. Oh, Anthony, don't put it in your house, honey. Put it in the garage, sir. And I will have that running as a live stream for everyone for like 6 hours. We will get more views on that than the remainder of the shows, like probably the whole season. I could get people to show up to watch the show. You think Steve wouldn't tune into that? Steve be tuning into that. That'd be more entertaining than the Thursday games for Thanksgiving.
Hey,
I acknowledge
a couple good ones last year.
It would have to be a very small turkey. That's what I mean. Like I got petty cash, dog. I'll get you some money. Like I got some Venmo. We'll Venmo that to you. I will put that up on the live stream if you set that up in your garage. We will just let that run in the background. I will have people tuning in, like tune into Important Nonsense to watch a Showtime rotisserie grill cooked turkey. We might have to clean it first because if it's been sitting in your garage, I have to imagine the Showtime rotisserie grill is probably a little dirty. But my God. But my God, I cannot believe somebody actually had a that's amazing. Bought it from the commercial. Holy crap. I love it. I love everything about it. Sorry, talk amongst yourselves. That's like seared into my memory from when I was a kid. Like, you have the box? That's even better. That's don't you know what we can't. That's a collector's item.
Yeah,
can't dirty this up
buy
anymore.
it from you. Just
yeah. Do you have the original manuals? Because this is now like a piece of history. This should be in the Smithsonian. Like that's literally what that is. That is amazing. That is the most amazing.
Keeping up with the conversation, it is time to be checked for get a colonoscopy.
It is. You need to sign up for Cologuard. If you are paying attention to this and you know what we're talking about, you need to sign up. You need to get registered for a prostate exam, sir. That is, damn, not the original box. All right, I'm back in on live stream and we can dirty it up and destroy it. Then you don't have the original box. It's fine. All right, Anthony. I'm not kidding. I will literally like get you money if you're willing to do this with us. I will get you money and get you on here, and we will set that up in your garage, and we will run that on Thanksgiving as Thanksgiving content for people.
Whatever. Neil's gonna put it on his spot right behind him and just do it constantly.
No, it's too loud, man. I know how loud it is. I'm 36. So no, yeah. Like I said, if you're under 40, you'd have to be right at the cut line of 40 to understand what we're even discussing, because nobody under 35 is probably going to have any freaking clue, and they're just going to leave. Like they're going to have no idea what we're talking about.
I've seen it, but I don't remember the infomercial for it.
Oh God, no! The infomercial was the whole point. Where is Steve when we need him? Like this is Steve's missing out. Steve is missing out. That's all we do, Paulo. That's all we do. We plot revenge against my mailman for trying to make me fat, and we talk about the Showtime grill, and occasionally we take fantasy football questions. That's all we do. That's all we do here. Speaking of fantasy football questions, we will do a fantasy football question.
Back to it.
Just no, I'm not done talking about the Showtime grill, dog. dog. If you think I'm done talking about that, you don't know me at all. Like, there you go. Hill, Ford, Dobbs, DeMario, Douglas. Oh God, you got like 3 of the things Jason likes on here.
Not wrong.
This is a Jason approved team you got running here.
Except for Douglas is dealing with injury, so we're not 100% on that. Ford has a tough matchup, and I hate Dobbs is just terrifying. I mean, if Watson's out, maybe, but so I'm gonna go Hill.
Okay, I'm gonna play Ford like a sane person, but okay. But go ahead. I will say what's messed up is Hill would be my second choice. That's what's messed up about that. That's a messed up situation that because Douglas is hurt, Dobbs is unplayable. So I'd play Ford like a rational human being. But I get why it's not ideal. Ravens defense is good. So I do understand the trepidation. If I was projected to get blowed out, which you might be, then I probably would play Hill just on pure upside. But the rational person would play. A rational person would play Ford. But if you need to shoot for the moon, it's Hill. And the rest of those options don't matter.
Field goal.
Okay. I still can't believe they sold a Showtime rotisserie grill off of the commercials from the 90s. That's unbelievable to me. And then it survives 35 years. That grill is 30 years old. Or it's not quite 30 years old, but that grill is old enough to vote. Is my point. That grill could vote. It could fight and die for its country. And yes, it was as Anthony put, it was incredibly loud. That was my abiding memory of it from the people I knew that had one. You had to put it outside. It was like you couldn't hear it. It could not live in your kitchen. It was entirely too loud. But yes, I had a neighbor, Anthony, who was older, and she did a turkey in it, and it worked reasonable. It wasn't great.
Well, maybe do a Cornish game hen instead.
Cornish game hen would probably be more
suitable.
If you find this, I talk to you every Thursday, Anthony. We will do this. I promise. All right, we'll do a fantasy question. Brian Robinson, Connor.
Bijan?
Bijan, Brian. Either Robinson or James Conner. Pick a Robinson or Connor. There you go. That's
Brian.
Brian Robinson. I hate my choices. I hate all my choices. Bijan for me, and I want to vomit. Yes, Bijan for me, and tamp the bile down, Daniel. Tamp it down.
I don't even see Connor on my list. Not surprising, I guess, but
hang on. Amended question.
Or Ford. Brian or Bijan? Because that
that matters.
And
it's PPR.
Yeah, that makes it real important. Let's see. Because I think at that point, it's probably going to be Ford, but golly, it's close with Brian.
Yeah.
Just because
I'm going to assume it's Brian because Bijan, you probably have to play. And I'm going to lead Brian Robinson because it's a better matchup, but I have them. Brian. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to play Brian Robinson here.
Super close, man. I'm fine with either of them.
I'm going to play Brian Robinson, and I hate it.
Mostly because it's PPR.
Yeah.
That's what helps Ford in this situation.
It does.
But Brian,
boy, I have all three of those guys so close in my rankings. I totally get this question. I have those three guys. I swear to you, I have those three guys right next to each other in my rankings. 1, 2, 3. So the fact that you have all of them is actually kind of impressive. I'm gonna hold you to. All right, we can't do Thanksgiving. Damn, so disappointed. Christmas. We'll do Cornish game hens at Christmas. All right, I love it. Maybe not on Christmas because I know people travel and stuff like that. But I'm amazed. Do you like Cornish game hens, Jason? A weird question, but
they're fine.
I do like me a Cornish game hen. I haven't had one of those in years.
I'm like, it's too big it's too small for a turkey.
You have to get a small turkey. You could do a turkey, but you have to be pretty little.
But You could make 2 game hens.
You could do 2 game hens. You could just stick that metal rod through it. You could do them both at the same time. Yeah,
That was my thought. I'm like, you could do 2. It's a meal for 2 people. You're set.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you. All right, we're doing this. If that thing works, I'm in. This is like my thing to go and replace us with Plank and Gumby, because the views will go up. Like it will just. I have a feeling what's going to be depressing, Jason, is the Twitch stream of the Showtime Grill running will blow out our number for the whole year. Like we'll get like 1,000 people watching that, and everybody in there, by the way, should go get. We'll probably have to get a colon screening, and also probably should get a skin cancer check at their next physical just to make sure that they're okay. Yeah, 2 game hens. You jam the rod through it, and you could get a nice. I haven't had game hens in forever, man. This whole show is making.
You're
me
welcome.
Hungry. This whole show is making me hungry, man. Like I didn't have dinner before this. Like
never do.
Well, I don't have time. I get off work and then I sit down to do this.
Well,
everybody.
One of these days we're just going to have food, and we're both.
Everybody else is left. Like everyone else is left, and I don't blame them. I legitimately do not blame people for leaving. All right. Okay, we answered Daniel's question. Okay, Jason, I tell you what. Let's do something else that might borderline help people. Who's your quarterback start of the week?
Oh, we're actually going to do something. Okay.
Yes, we're done. We've answered all the questions. Believe it or not, we have, and we have in fact answered all of the questions. And I can only continue. Never apologize for that. Never apologize. You made my day.
You probably also made polos. We'll see. You might.
We'll see.
Might have enjoyed that.
We'll see. But also, that's genius content. Steve will tune in for that. He'd be really? Someone actually has one of those? Do you have the baster where they used to inject like full cloves of garlic into whatever? People are leaving. They're legitimately leaving, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Bye. We'll see you on Thursday. I promise we'll do a real advice.
Sunday.
No. No. Yeah, we'll see you Sunday.
No.
Sorry, I'm getting my weeks mixed up. We will see them next week. We will.
Yeah. We haven't got to that point yet.
No, I skipped a week. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh damn! It's amazing. You know what I'm talking about. There was the baster that people would put like whole cloves of garlic in there, and I'm like, that is just disgusting. Like, chop it up for God's sake, you heathens. Anyway, Jason, who's your quarterback start of the week?
I'm thinking.
Don't apologize for that.
I think I'm jumping on the train. I'm going to go Will Levis versus Tampa. Really liked what I saw out of him. Continues to take shots. Tampa has a iffy secondary at best. So I'm rolling with it. I absolutely love him this week. I have him as my quarterback 14. So.
Really?
I do. I think it's going to be competitive with the dump offs to Henry. They've used him in the passing game a lot last week as well. Okonkwo has also saw some usage, and even Westbrook-Akine comes into a flex consideration for me.
I actually just double checked it. I actually have Levis at 17, so it's a factor of a lot of quarterbacks being on bye. 3 quarterbacks you would start are on bye, so he moves up a bit, and it is a decent matchup. For me, I've got 2, and it's because this is going to be a little bit league dependent. One is other side of the same game. Baker Mayfield. Yeah. Mayfield has a good matchup against Tennessee. I like his weapons, obviously. You know, he's had some ups and downs, but the Titans defense has been brutal. So I like I like that in the background. Baker Mayfield, I have at 14. So similar to you with the other side of it. And then my other one, Baker's not that available. So I felt like I wanted to give people a second one. That's
Steve's fault. Just keep that in mind. He keeps telling people to pick him up. It's fine.
Sure it is. The other,
I like blaming Steve.
The other one is Heineke.
Like that also?
Heineke has an incredible matchup against the terrible Arizona defense, and he's widely available. And I am, as people who've followed this for a long time know, I do not like Taylor Heineke. I do not think Taylor Heineke is particularly good at football. However, he has proven to be serviceable, and when he has a good matchup, he has proven to be useful at times. So I do enjoy me some Heineke this week. I would recommend him as a streaming option.
Oh, and
So
it also, oh man, that was crazy. Sorry, my mind just blanked. I was thinking of Hal, because that is the position that I had Heineke in my mind. I'm like, that's yet another good one I actually like.
Howell's too highly rated.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, can't pick Howell.
Again,
Let's do sits.
I like him though.
Let's do sits.
Kyler Murray versus the Falcons.
Okay, that doesn't count. Oh, it does. Oh my God, why? Why does that count? Ew.
Thank you, because people don't understand or believe he's. I don't know. I think that they think
normally
he's
I'd
run a
mock
lot.
you for this, but I can't. Well, that's depressing. I was having fun talking about the Showtime grill, and I just ruined my whole day.
He was at 9.
No, I just ruined my whole day. That information. That's a day runner.
So enjoy. Taking the easy one here.
Yeah, no, that is the easy one. For me, it's Geno. Been brutal. Even in good matchups, been brutal.
Well, it's because they're winning with Walker.
I know. They're winning running the ball, and he has a much better matchup this week. So if you had to, I mean, gun to your head, okay.
Yeah.
I just would rather several other players. I'd rather some Heineke. I'd rather some Carr, some Mayfield. Don't play Geno unless you absolutely have to. There's probably better options than Geno this week. I acknowledge the Commanders' defense has been craptacular, but yeah, don't like it. All right, let's do running back real quick. Let's just go straight into running back.
Well, we've already gotten touched on it. Brian Robinson versus the Seahawks.
Okay.
Feel like it's a slam dunk. Think he's going to get a lot of usage. The fact that they've also been using him in the passing game.
That just guarantees failure.
Huh?
It's just guaranteed. We're just guaranteeing failure.
Yep.
Talking about his usage and Ron Rivera. Oh God, it's all falling apart.
It's about to happen, I'm sure. I absolutely love it. I've been enjoying seeing him actually see a majority of carries, be used in more than just the run game. Big benefits there. So,
okay.
And Seahawks are a pretty good matchup.
It is a pretty good matchup. I have two because one's a cop out. One is Jalen Warren because he's just outside. He's just outside. So that's Jalen Warren is my cop out answer. It's just a great matchup for Warren and also Harris. Got a lot of players on bye, but yeah, they've got Warren at 25 in the ECR. I've got him higher. I've got him up in like the 22 area. So he would be a start for me. And then the other one that I have, because that was too much of a cop out for me. The other one was Gus Edwards. So yeah. Like, I don't see how you're sitting Gus Edwards at this point. I get that it's not a good matchup, but how are you justifying sitting Edwards at this point with 4 teams on a bye and 3 of the good running backs are also on bye with that? Like, how is that possible? The ECR is a little weird this week where, according to the ECR is recommending playing Singletary and Ford over Edwards. And I'm like, why?
PPR, that makes sense.
To a point, but
I also think people are really buying into Keaton Mitchell.
Yeah, I think that's a mistake. He had 9 carries.
I understand.
He had 3. They were good, but he had 9 carries. Like,
again, I understand, but people have now been bitten by the lack of belief in Achane, and so people are now buying into it because they got burned once. You know how it goes.
I do, but I was doing the same dismissive eye roll on Tuesday when I was telling Lance. I was like, Lance, somebody is going to go blow their whole fab budget on Keaton Mitchell in your league. You know this. And that's why I'm like, I'm not interested. Because the amount of revenue that it would take to make that work is not something I want to pay. But it's the time of year for that too, where people are desperate. They're completely desperate. They haven't figured it out by now. They're going to blow their money to do so. So there is that.
So,
All right. Do sits real quick, and then we have a question to break this up.
it's James Cook versus Denver.
Yeah,
That's just a tire fire. I'm nervous about it. The fact that they brought in off the bench Fournette, or off the couch Fournette, and like Murray's been seeing a lot of usage because he's better pass block. Like, it's just not a great sign for Cook.
No, it's not.
Playing for him.
No, I've been talking about this on Tuesdays with Lance, where I'm like, if you have 3 running backs in Buffalo, then from fantasy perspective, you have 0. So it's something that I'm more worried about for the future, less so worried about Sunday or Monday, excuse me. But it is definitely something that I'm worried about for Cook long term. If you have PSA for those that are still here, trade deadline is like next 2 weeks, guys. If you're still looking at Cook and you're dealing with, and you think you're going to the playoffs, probably try and shop Cook. My whole thing for this weekend actually is I'm hoping Cook has a great game on Monday, and then we're going to wave goodbye. And I'm going to get something else is what I'm going to do. That's my plan. So we're going to wave goodbye to Cook and then try to do something else in the background. So that's what I want to do.
All right, who's yours besides Cook?
Well, Cook, I can't really justify sitting Cook this week because of how brutal this is in the background. Because it's super brutal this week with all the buys and all the just crapola. And I have 2. That's kind of just how I've been doing it this week. But one of them is not helpful. But it's just a PSA. Because you don't have better options. You won't have better options. It's Saquon. Terrified of Saquon this week. Terrified of it. Do not like. Hurt. DeVito at quarterback. Bad matchup to begin with. Do not like this. Do not like. Don't like they're playing Dallas.
Boosting him up is PPR.
Yeah, right. But it's like, but you don't have better. You probably don't have better options. 4 teams on a bye. Blah 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 blah. You probably just don't have better options. But I'd be tempering my expectations for Barkley. Bad matchup, backup quarterback. He's hurt. Don't like any of that. Really don't like any of that. And then the other one that's probably more realistic is actually Madison. They are just trying to not have Madison have this job. The problem is that every time they try to do something else, that person gets hurt. And now we're back to Madison and Ty Chandler. If I had better options than Madison, and you probably do, I would be exploring them. For example, I'd rather play Warren over Madison. I would do that. So don't really want to play Madison this week if I could avoid it, but I get how you might have your hand forced into that. All right, go ahead, Jason. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Daniel has a question real quick.
I thought we were going for a question.
We did. I got it. Daniel has a question real quick.
18 PPR. Johnson, Dell, Pittman, Godwin. So he's just wanting 1? Or is this additional to his flex?
No, I think it's 1. And then, Daniel, clarify this for me. I think you're asking me to pick 1, and then you want us to pick another one at flex. But you add in Ford and Connor.
Because they can all be flex at that point.
I think that's what he means. I think he wants us to... There you go. I got it. 1 wide receiver and then 1 at flex.
So we're picking 2.
So it's pick 2 overall, but let me see.
Dell and Johnson for me.
Yeah, I know you're gonna have you have to go Dell because you already tipped your hand to what your ranking is.
Well, if you pull the arm, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I gotta know what's that. For me, it is. It's really close. Hang on, I'm gonna do the wide receiver one first.
Are you fighting for the second spot? Or?
No, I got it. It's Pittman, because I don't believe Downs plays, and if he does play, it'll be on a very limited snap count. He went out there last week, caught 1 pass, and immediately was done for the day. Don't like that. So
started him.
I did not, and I was very happy that I did not, because I was like, yeah, I'm glad I sat him. It's Pittman and then it's Pittman and then Deontay. Yes, Pittman and then Deontay. So Pittman Deontay is what I'm doing here. All right, Jason, who's your wide receiver start?
Also tip my hand to it. Khalil Shakir versus the
You're that,
Broncos.
you're that invested in that? Okay.
I am.
Oh boy.
Like I said, so more likely means it's not going to do anything, but he is the third wide receiver, seeing a lot of usage in the short area.
It's a
He's
good matchup.
Again, a good matchup. And in this situation, it seems like they're funneling to him. It's the second option really over Knox. And so with Knox being out, he's become that position player and has really stepped up into it very well. And he has the talent to really break free if he has a space. So you have that added to it as well. And I absolutely, again, love the matchup.
For me, it's Tyler Boyd. It's starting to look like
one.
It is an easy one. That is an easy one. It's a layup. It's definitely a layup. If you want me to do one that's not a layup, I do have a backup plan. But it is more a PSA for Tyler Boyd.
I do like the fact that you brought it up because we need to make people realize that.
We need to have this conversation real quick because you got Chase and Higgins are both questionable. Whenever one of them is not playing, Boyd sees a huge uptick. And if both of them aren't playing, I'm actually weirdly less enthused about this.
I'd be moving him back down at that point.
Yeah, it's a weird thing on how that works where if one of them doesn't play, Boyd go up. If Boyd has to be the wide receiver one, Boyd go down. It's a weird thing, but that has been statistically correct over about 3 years now. There's a large sample on that. And it is something to look into, though.
If that does happen, you start looking at
what's that dude's name? Sample or
Irwin?
Sample or the blonde-haired kid.
Pretty sure that's Irwin. Trent.
Yeah, Irwin. Sunshine. Sample or Sunshine. Either way, I'd start downgrading all my Bengals. The other one that I would have, since that was a cop-out.
A lot less interesting.
Since that was a cop-out, it is more just a PSA about Tyler Boyd. But it was a bit of a cop-out. So I have another one, which is Rashid Shaheed. Love it. I continue to talk about Rashid Shaheed every time I can. Lance hates this. I talk about Rashid Shaheed on Tuesdays all the time because it's just so alluring. It only takes one. He just has to get behind the defense, and Minnesota's secondary sucks. So all I need you to do is get behind that crappy secondary one time, and then it pays you off. So it's Rashid Shaheed would be the one that I'm looking at. Who's your sit?
George.
This is hard. This is harder.
Yeah, George Pickens versus the Packers.
No, it wasn't that hard.
Yeah, I got lucky because, man, he's just been relegated. I understand they're calling for a squeaky wheel game after him complaining last week, but with Johnson back and seeing that higher ADOT, it's made Pickens terrifying to play.
Yeah,
because he
for me, it's Zay Flowers. Some of the shine is coming off that, and he's been pretty hard to trust, and I think you might have some better options here.
Couple of tough matchups too.
Yeah.
So that doesn't help things.
Not helping. So no, I'd be keeping Zay Flowers on the bench this week, and I'd probably be keeping Zay Flowers on the bench for the next couple weeks, if I'm honest, because you've got Cleveland, Cincy, Chargers might be interesting, the bye, and then you got the Rams, and then you're in the playoffs, and it's like you're really trusting him with the playoffs. But the last 2 weeks have been brutal, and I know a lot of people have been asking, like, oh, is this the get-right game after 2 bad weeks? I'm not sure that it is. So I would likely, coming off 2 bad games, I'm not sure that this is the get-right game that people are hoping for with Flowers. I'm a little concerned about Flowers basically the rest of the way, if I'm being honest. I'm not saying cut him, but we're getting to that time of year where it's mission critical, and I don't know that I trust him at this point. A couple questions here. 6-point QB touchdown, Burrow or Stroud? It's a good question, actually.
Stroud at this point, with the fact that Burrow might be without weapons.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, I've got it as Burrow for right this second answering this question today. But this is one where I want to check the injury reports. If they are going to be playing without Chase and Higgins, which is starting to look that's the way it's going, if that does come to pass, I would play Stroud because I do not want to play Burrow with no weapons. So yeah. You're asking me on a Thursday. So right now, it's Burrow. But fortunately, I don't have to give you a definitive answer until Sunday morning. So ask me
Don't
this
give me
question
Sunday.
again on the final countdown, and I bet you the answer is if we'll have the injury reports finalized by then, and if they're both hurt, then it's going to be Stroud. Judy or Myers? Judy for me.
Myers for me.
Yeah, okay. That's a tough one.
Not getting away from it, man.
That's a tough one.
I've attached myself to that ship, and we're going down one way or the
You have
other.
hitched your wagon to that star, and
Well,
wherever it goes, you're going with it.
Whoa. Not the star. I have been on Myers well before. You can watch the Raiders episode where I was talking him up. So
Are you not familiar with the expression "hitched your wagon to a star"? It's a filmmaking expression. It's an old Hollywood expression.
It's just I did it well before he was a star.
That's not what I mean. Like, that is not what that expression means. You don't. Okay, so the answer is my question. He doesn't know what the expression means. I got it. Okay, we're good. We're good. Going down with the ship, then that's fine. If you're pot committed to that and you can't get off it, that's fine. But Judy for me.
I do like that he's playing out of the slot more. That's been helping him a bit.
Sure. This game is an utter disaster.
I know.
It is 10-3. There is somehow 8 minutes to go in the first half. That is not good. That is not a good sign, man. If there's that much time to go in this game, that must mean that this has been a penalty festival. I haven't heard from Polo at all. Well, I did, but it's this. And Polo, I'm sorry. It is way too early to be watching Christmas movies. It's way too early, man. Way too early. What Christmas movies? Are they like Lifetime movies, or are we talking about like Elf?
We're going off the rails again.
Well, we only have like one segment left to do, so what do you want?
Okay. Have you seen the trailers for I think it's called Thanksgiving?
You mean the horror movie with the guy with the pilgrim mask? Yes. Yeah, that seems sort of interesting. Hold on. Polo, I'm sorry. It's way too early to be watching Christmas movies, man. I'm sorry. It's too early. Okay, Jason, do your PSA for the Thanksgiving slasher movie that I'm surprised didn't exist until now.
The things that I find interesting on it is Rick Hoffman is in it, who I absolutely love. So the idea of that being one, as well as Patrick Dempsey.
I did see Patrick Dempsey was in that movie.
So
that did kind of grab my attention.
I'm like, these are some mostly because he was just named Sexiest Man. Very weird. Maybe it's because of this movie. No idea. But absolutely love the idea.
I didn't know that. That's actually something I did not. I was unaware.
So, yeah. If you haven't, make sure you go and watch the trailer because it looks awesome. Awesomely. I'm trying to think of a good comparison movie for it. But it's Thanksgiving Michael Myers?
Yeah. Sorta.
Okay. I'm trying to think of other things.
Well, I'm trying to think of something that people would know.
Yeah,
but I'm trying to think of something people would actually know. And Thanksgiving Michael Myers is kind of accurate because if you look at the trailer, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That is litigible. That is yeah. That is litigible, my friend. At least I can see why you're upstairs listening to us bloviate about the Showtime Grill because it's the Hallmark Channel. Oh my god, it's too early for that, especially but yeah, that Thanksgiving movie does seem does seem interesting in a weird way because yeah, it is kind of an odd thing with that. I was actually surprised. Well, I was surprised that idea hadn't been done. It sort of felt like the kind of thing that should have already existed, and it didn't. So I applaud them for doing something that wound up being an original idea. That my cynical self, when I first saw that, I started Googling around, and I'm like, huh, that idea didn't exist. Good for you. You found an angle and you played it. But yeah, it is kind of like Thanksgiving Michael Myers. Seems interesting.
Well, again, with the big
if you like slasher movies,
I do. But the big older names with Hoffman and Dempsey, but it also has Milo and Addison Rae.
I was gonna say, ask your parents who Patrick Dempsey is. But then I realized that we just spent the last like 20 minutes talking about the Showtime Grill. So and people knew what we were talking about. So never mind. Don't bother. Explain to your parents who Patrick Dempsey is. Because clearly we're talking to people that are in their 30s.
But more realistically, Addison Rae and Milo Manheim are both. Milo's from Zombies. Addison Rae was in the remake of, God, what is this stupid makeup movie? It used to be She's All, or not She's All That.
The Notebook?
Freddie. Well, okay, so Freddie Prinze Jr. was in a movie originally where he remade a dorky girl and made her pretty. Well, they did a different movie, a newer one, with the girl making the guy more handsome or more attractive via a similar process. Let me say, okay. No,
I have no idea. I am not the audience for that.
He's all that, and she's all that. So I'm talking about.
Okay, Anthony knows what we're doing. Anthony's on point tonight. He knows everything. She's all that, but the new version is Can't Buy Me Love. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. Thank you, Anthony, because I am not the audience for that conversation. Like I don't know.
So again, we're spiraling. So I was just like, those
Take
are
your time. What do you want to talk about? Thursday Night Football? It's 10-3, and that game is making me sad.
And it was
not even giving updates because that's how sad it is. It's making Polo sad too.
That was going to be enough for my Mooney over. Dang it. It's just a usage bank of knowledge that nobody cares about. Like that's where my mind goes every time.
I like the Grinch tree. Grinch tree is pretty cool. That's a cool idea. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody actually do that. That's a cool idea. Yeah. Anyway, check out the Thanksgiving slasher movie. It's in theaters. It actually seems like a cool idea. I myself have even contemplated like, no, that sounds like the kind of thing that I'd actually like to get a copy of and then stream for like people, like have people over. You know what I mean? That seems like that kind of movie.
Yeah.
Or that might be a good one for date night around Thanksgiving. That might be a good one for that. I have a different recommendation. As we know, I love my weird schlock crap movies. Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is one of the greatest movies no one's ever seen. It's horrible. It's also brilliant. It's about a psychotic turkey that goes on a killing spree. Gobble gobble, bitch. I can't say the actual slogan for what the movie is because I will have to bleep it. But it's gobble gobble, mother. It's one of the greatest movies ever made. Check it out. It's on streaming. It's amazing. It is an amazing.
Bring us right back, Neil. Did you get a chance to watch Slaughterhouse?
I have not had a chance to yet. I'm sorry. I've been busy. I've been busy at work. I'm sorry. I haven't had time to watch anything other than random crap. And I've been dealing with this. But no. I highly recommend Thanksgiving. It is a masterpiece of the highest order. Highest order of entertainment is Thanksgiving. Do not show that to normal people. They will think you're crazy. But it's amazing. Like it is an amazing it is wheels up on Thanksgiving. That we do something out here periodically called
Thanksgiving.
No, I think we're okay. Crappy movie night. Except the first word's not crappy.
Okay.
And Thanksgiving came out in 2007. It was made by the people who made Jack Frost, which is another piece
of movie
garbage that I love. If you've never seen, I have seen Rubber. I recommend Rubber to people. Rubber, the Sentient Tire, is also high. It's way up there. It's great. That is a masterpiece. Yes, Anthony, check out Thanksgiving. It is made by the people that made Jack Frost, and I am not talking about the Jack Frost that had Tim Allen in it. I'm talking about the B movie Jack Frost, one of the best movies ever. But yeah,
sure you're talking about Michael Keaton, Tim Allen.
Oh no, I'm sorry, it might be Michael Keaton. Either way,
Okay.
it's not that. I'm talking about the Jack Frost B movie. Yes, check out Thanksgiving. It is amazing. It's one of those movies that got critically murdered. It is a B movie, but it's on Amazon Prime Video and a few other streaming services. Audience score 4 out of 5. It is a crowd pleaser. So
It's now
yes.
10-6, FYI.
What's that?
It's now 10-6, FYI.
Good. Love it. Gross. But yes, check out
punt return.
Yes, just check out Thanksgiving. Gobble gobble mother blank. Like it is a masterpiece of the highest order. Yes, same people. So if you like Jack Frost, Anthony, cannot recommend Thanksgiving enough. It is a holiday favorite around my neck of the woods. It's one of the only movies that is like for crappy movie night that people like. They want rescreenings. They want that again. It's that good. So you got to check out. You got and I apologize. I confused Tim Allen with Michael Keaton. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that. But yes, check that out. I absolutely could not speak more highly of Thanksgiving. Holy cow! It's an amazing idea, executed flawlessly.
Well, because I think you did it because
Yes.
Tim Allen.
Yes, it is. I use that all the time. People do not know what I'm talking. I don't care. Gobble gobble. It's, real quick, Kittle or Kincaid?
Kincaid.
I agree.
Debo back healthy.
Debo back healthy. Go Kincaid. Krampus is also a winner. Krampus is great. Unironically great. The production values are way higher than for what I normally like, but it's good. Also, the sound design for that movie, Daniel, was incredible. People don't normally care about that kind of thing, but like seriously, the sound design for the Krampus movie was incredible. The people who made that movie spent way too much money and time trying to figure out how to make the whip cracking and the chains rattling sound really good. I don't know why. But yes. Anyway. Yeah. I had to do Thanksgiving. I had to do Thanksgiving on this show because that's one of the ones people don't know what it is. It's
like the only. It's like the only.
Also,
other...
Buckaroo Banzai saves the universe. That has nothing to do with Thanksgiving. That movie has people in it you'd recognize if you Googled it.
What movie?
Buckaroo Banzai.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's because it's an 80s movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's an 80s movie nobody ever saw.
That's not true. I'm sure I probably saw it. I need to see the actual cover of the.
I mean, also, like, one of my favorite B movies of all time is Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That movie's a masterpiece. Masterpiece. That's not that obscure of a movie. A lot of people have seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I have that movie on DVD. I have that on DVD. I also have Black Dynamite on DVD. Top 5 movie ever made, Black Dynamite. That's not even a joke. That's not even a joke. Like Black Dynamite, top 5 movie ever. Like ever.
Makes me think of Pootie Tang.
It is not dissimilar from Pootie Tang. It's like a raunchier version of Pootie Tang that is even more inappropriate. It is not that dissimilar from that idea. Which one, Anthony? Killer Clowns from Outer Space or Black Dynamite? Because they're both great. Like they're
Pootie Tang.
Or Pootie Tang. Pootie Tang's also pretty good. Weirdly, you know who loved Pootie Tang? Was my 65-year-old father. He nearly peed himself. Like Monster Squad. Yep, Monster Squad's a good one. I like Monster Squad. Michael J. White. We've done no football in this, and this has been one of the most entertaining shows. We've talked about B movies I like, recommended B movies to other people, got some good recommendations in here from the audience, and we talked about the Showtime Grill. It's been great. Silent Night, Deadly Night, also Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. Garbage Day! Silent Night, Deadly Night is good. Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 is better. They've made 6 of them. I don't know if you know that, but there are 6 of those, and many of them are incredible. Yes, yeah, that is probably correct. Killer Clowns is probably better for kids. Black Dynamite is not a kids movie, not at all. But the I play Black. I have Black Dynamite on DVD over here too. It's in my like. I only have a handful of DVDs. Like it's.
I got rid of all the cases and just have the DVD now. So
Oh, see, I kept a couple of the cases just for
sentimental reasons.
well things I like. So it's like I have. What do I have on DVD? I have Spaceballs, Buckaroo Banzai, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Black Dynamite, Monty Python's The Holy Grail, and Caddyshack.
So he just went to the $5 bin and started picking stuff out of it.
No, some of those I've had for a very long time since I was a kid. And then I have
Aqua Teen
DVD,
I have bull.
I have all my old
older than me.
Hunger Force. I have all my old Aqua Teen Hunger Force DVDs because I refuse to get rid of them because that show was amazing. And then I have Moon on Blu-ray, which if you like sci-fi movies, I highly recommend Moon. But I have all kinds of other movies that are like on my hard drive over here off camera. But I kept those because if the internet ever goes out, you know what I mean? Or if I run out of space on the hard drive, like those are things that I have. So that's what I have behind me over here.
Also have a VCR.
Do you really?
With actual VHSs?
What a hipster.
I couldn't find GoldenEye any other way.
What a hipster. Oh God, 6? I don't know if I could do 6. There's so many choices. It's probably one of the movies I already listed back here that I love that I refuse to get rid of because why would you? Oh boy, that's tough. As far as like crappy B movies, oh, that's a hard one. Possibly Suburban Sasquatch. I think it might be Suburban Sasquatch, just because the guy who makes those movies takes it so seriously, and it is not something you should ever take seriously. Yeah, Moon, Sam Rockwell. It's also got Kevin Spacey in it. I know it's questionable at this point. It was before. It was in the before time. It's basically Jason. If you've never seen Moon, it's a modern take on 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Okay,
it's pretty good. They do a nice job. It's a suspense movie. They do a nice job of like building suspense, and it's a thinking man's movie. It's not like a popcorn movie. It's not like it's not Starship Troopers. Oh, you know what? It might be Starship Troopers, actually. Oh now that I say that out loud, it might be 6 might be Starship Troopers.
One of the best movies.
Yeah, it's not Starship Troopers. It's not that. That's like heady old school sci-fi. Like they set it up. It takes a while to get going, but it gets really good by the end. And then Sam Rockwell does a great job. The movie is basically Sam Rockwell on screen talking to the disembodied voice of Kevin Spacey for 90 minutes. And it works as a movie. It actually works. They make that work, and it's hard to do. It as you describe it, it doesn't do the movie justice. It's better when you watch it.
Going back to cult classics. We're out of the season though. Pumpkinhead.
Oh yeah, Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead's not bad.
That was a classic there.
Old Pumpkinhead. All right. Jason, it's still 10-6, but it's getting close to halftime. Let's let people get on with their night. As fun as this is. Let's do tight end start of the week.
I'm going to go with Johnny Smith versus the Cardinals. Brought it up. Heineke's chucking the ball everywhere. They've been using Jono to do a bunch of different stuff, including rushing it. So why not? But it also is just the fact that they should be able to score however they want to. And it seems that Arthur Smith just doesn't want to give Bijan the ball. So with that in mind, I'm going to go with Johnny.
K. Dotton for me.
That was the other one, and I didn't want to take it because I knew he'd be your go-to.
Yeah, it's just he's been my go-to for a little while, and it's been paying me off. So I'm going to go back to the well. I'm going to go back to the well one more time with K. Dotton. His usage continues to be, I shouldn't say going up at this point. It's already gone up, but it remains steady. and it's not a great matchup, but they're working to getting him the ball quite a bit. So, and there's 4 guys on bye. So, who's your sit?
George Kittle versus Jags.
I, I doubt you have better options, but
It's
sure,
right
I
there.
understand.
You know, like we said, Debo is healthy. Ayuk is healthy. When that happened, Kittle gets chucked to the back burner as CMC also. I mean, he needs to block for him, and he's really good at it.
Well, that was it. They use him as a blocker because he's good at being a blocker. So I get that. I do. This week is hard because Goddard was ranked, but is probably going to wind up on IR before the whole thing. So he'll drop out, which moves everybody up. You can't pick Komet because that's already over. And then it gets
just has what 2 targets right now for 12 yards.
Right. So it's like I wanted to go Komet, in all honesty, because I thought this game might go like this, but you can't because it's just it doesn't work like that for the purposes of this game. So it's really hard this week to like figure out what you want to do here. It gets really nasty. So for me, it's going to be Evan Ingram against the 49ers. And I don't feel great about that, but it's a bad matchup against the 49ers. I know their defense hasn't been the 49ers defense, but I think that this might be a little bit of a get-right game for the Niners. I think they're not happy about losing 3 in a row and are going to try and take a steel pipe to to Jacksonville. So if I had to sit somebody off this list, it would be Ingram, fully acknowledging, though, that this is a tough week to try and do sits at tight end at a position that already is really thin. Let me know, Anthony. Let me know if you can find it, bud, because I'd love to see it. But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap us up here. There's about a minute to go in this first half. Bears have the ball, but it's deep in their own territory. This game has been a nightmare scenario. Hopefully, the second half will be a little bit better.
Both quarterbacks, 50% completion rate.
Looking great. Everybody's been bad. Chuba Hubbard's been bad. The quarterback play has been bad. It's all bad. It's all bad. So I'm going to go ahead and hold my nose and go watch the other half of this game and hope for this weekend being a little bit better because the bar is going to be super low. And appreciate you guys sticking it out with us. This has been a fun show. Did a lot of nostalgia.
Completely off the rails. Nothing mattered.
We never got on the rails. Like it. In order for something to go off the rails, it would first have to be on the rails. It never happened. Like it. We showed up, face planted, and then started talking about the Showtime Grill. I regret nothing.
Yeah, I might actually just go play some video games.
Yeah. I have no regrets about this.
Hope that Thielen gets on track. What the heck?
Now so here's what we're so we'll break it there. Apparently Foreman has now gone to the medical tent because that just to make that worse. So goodbye. I'm sorry to everybody who was betting on Foreman because there were a lot of gambling. There was a lot of gambling on Foreman.
1.15. What's that? 5.2 points.
Huh?
12 yards and 51 yards. So 6 point.
Who are you talking about?
You. Oh, Foreman. He got you 6.2 points in a half a play.
Oh, I meant not about fantasy. I'm talking about gambling.
Oh, yeah, no.
It's about gambling. A lot of people had Foreman like anytime touchdown, Foreman over, like 100-yard, all that crap. Like, so no, I'm sorry about your Foreman parlays because that might not be happening now.
Well, my parlay was already risky.
Oh, okay. Well,
but
there you go.
Because I was going, let's see, Hubbard over 40.5.
That's not looking good.
Yep. Thielen over 70.5. Met's halfway there.
Okay.
I have, if he gets over 4 receptions, we're set there. Darnell Mooney over 30.5 receiving, and then I thought for sure Bryce Young was going to throw for more 1 touchdown, but
we'll see if that happens. There's still time on that, but
it's
not looking good.
Yeah,
not looking good.
But it's house money, so that was the plus this week.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, guys.
Not a sponsor.
Right. We will see you all on Sunday for the final countdown. Good luck
Well, if you're a degenerate, come back tomorrow if you're locked in.
That's true. If you're a degenerate, we'll see you tomorrow. Well, Mason and Vishal, we'll see you tomorrow for Locked In. But for most of this audience, we will see you all on Sunday for the final countdown. Good luck. Hopefully the injury report gets a little bit clearer for everybody. And we'll see you on Sunday morning. But until then,
Heard nothing, bro.